Welcome to this video on routines during the COVID-19 period, the break, let's say. So, there's a high chance that you have had to shift your usual daily life, your routine, because of the current circumstances that are taking place, let's say. You no longer have to go to work, you have to do home office, your studies have been interrupted, you don't have to do any study work, or you have online classes but you don't need to leave the house. Maybe you're advised to not leave the house at all and trap yourself in self-quarantine. Okay, well, how do we deal with this situation? Routines. You may have created a routine in the past that worked very well for yourself, but the environment has changed, and environments set up cues which always trigger a routine, and if the environment changes, the routine can simply collapse like it never existed in the first place. So we need to maybe start from scratch and rebuild new routines. And I'm just going to explain what I do and what I think is very helpful. I have been waking up, as you all have also, and immediately having breakfast. What I do is try to eat a protein and fat heavy breakfast, because this is scientifically proven to stabilize emotions if you have a heavy fat and protein breakfast. Because if you might be self-aware that if you don't have breakfast or you eat something very sweet, your emotions are more volatile throughout the day or the morning, and that one could say maybe sabotages your morning. So eat a fat and protein heavy breakfast. You can have eggs with oil, like olive oil or butter. I usually eat it with bread also for some carbs, for some energy, but make sure there's fat in there especially. Then I take the dogs out for a walk. Now this is an excellent routine because it lets me get fresh air without social or physical contact with anyone, because I'm just walking the dogs. I keep my distance from anyone, and I take them out twice a day, so I know exactly 9 o'clock, dogs out, 4 p.m, dogs out. So it's a nice break throughout the day. And if you notice, if you're on the computer all day, if you then take a walk, you refresh your mind to start new again, and it's a very nice page break, let's say, in the day. That's really good. I highly recommend. But of course, if you don't have dogs, just go for a walk outside. Don't talk to anyone, but just go for a walk. Then I do sport, so I make sure I do a home workout, just body weight training in the garden or inside, depending on the weather, and that's really good to keep yourself fit and mentally in check. I highly recommend that. You can look at my older video on workout, which is all basically a home workout, just doing push-ups, squats, crunches, etc. Then I work on something study related. I work on my thesis, which keeps me intellectually in check, let's say. And I usually do that in the morning because there I need to focus and be concentrated, and that works best for me in the morning. Then I go on to design some sort of video content for my YouTube channel, or read something interesting, like I'm going to download Carl Jung's book, The Archetypes and the Collective Unconscious, because I'm highly interested in that. I'll get back to you on how interesting that book is. Then I spend a lot of time keeping in check with friends. Now this is important because you want to keep the social contact, friendships alive, and keep yourself mentally sane by talking to people. That's very important. So I call them, check in. I do peer coaching with my friends, so I discuss what we want to improve in our lives and then how to go about it best. And I also eat with my family. Have dinner, breakfast, lunch, whatever. That's a nice ritual which lets you talk and discuss how the day has been. That can also be a substitute for social contact right now, because you have somebody to talk to express how you feel. That's really, really valuable. I highly recommend that. Of course, if you're not with your family, make sure you call your friends. So what key here is altogether is routines. Routine. So you reduce the necessary cognitive processing in your day-to-day life, because that's quite exhausting. If you need to think, okay, what do I have to do now, it exhausts your brain. But if you can find routines that let you be productive on autopilot without having to think, that's optimal. That's what you want to strive for. That's my video. Maybe you learned something. You can adopt some of these habits for yourself. I think they suffice the basic needs of sports, food, and social contact nicely, and these can keep you going in these peculiar times and keep you sane. Thanks for watching. Let's go.